everyone. This is Elliott Serrano for the Chicago Red Eye and Geek to Me, reporting to you yet again here at the San Diego International Comic Convention. I have the distinct pleasure of being here with Mr. Christos Gage, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. For those who don't know, you are, let's say, one of the young guns in comic book writing right now.
I'll tell you, at my age, I'm happy to be called a young gun.
You've actually written quite a few notable titles. You've been on The Authority,
Yep.
Thunderbolts.
Yep.
And right now you are launching a new title with local publisher Avatar called Absolution. Can we see that?
Yes, we can.
There we go. Tell us about it.
Well, the premise of Absolution is that it's set in a world where superhumans are a sanctioned arm of law enforcement. They're like cops. They have the same rules they have to abide by and the same frustrations. And there's a character called John Dusk whose powers are sort of in the nature of almost like the Invisible Girl's force field or Green Lantern's ring, but on a smaller power scale. He's got this force field he can manipulate and turn into weapons or defense or whatever. And he's been on the force for about 9 years, and he's seen too many bad guys get away and reoffend. Kill people, sexually assault people, maim people, horrible things. And so he starts killing criminals who he knows are beyond the reach of the law. And where I got inspired to do this is, well, it was actually, my wife came to me with the idea, and she said, I told her I was going to pitch a book to William at Avatar, and that he's into, really hardcore, edgy stuff. And she said, well, what about a superhero serial killer? And I said, that's kind of interesting. So, like most good ideas, which I stole it from my wife.
Really, her name should be at the top.
Her name should be at the top. See where it says?
Really?
See where it says Christos Gage? It should say Ruth Gage.
Ruth Gage.
Yeah. That's,
that'll be for the next edition.
Yes,
right.
It will be.
And the Absolution.
That's right.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, and I had also spoken to some people who were actual cops, or there's two things. I was intrigued by the stories I'd been reading about post-traumatic stress disorder and returning veterans, and I was thinking, if there really were superheroes, they probably would see all these horrible things, and they'd probably have PTSD. And then I talked to some people who were actual cops and explained the frustration of, you're called out to a scene, you get there, and there's a guy who has been beating his wife and kids, but they've changed their minds, they don't want to press charges, and you know that sooner or later he's going to kill him, but you can't do anything about it. And the guy's sitting there up in your face saying, you so-and-so, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue the department, and you have to call him sir and be polite and respectful. And you can only take that for so long, and that is what I really want to explore. I mean, it's got a real down-to-earth feel. In this world, there's no Magneto, there's no Superman, there's no one who can tilt the Earth on its axis. The powers exist, the superpowers, but they're on a smaller scale, and I really want to get into, what it would really be like to be a superhero in a world like this. And as John Dusk starts getting more and more involved in his quest, not his quest, really, his mission, things are, on one hand, it's like he's found what gives his life meaning, but on the other hand, things are spiraling out of control, like his relationship with his girlfriend, who's a homicide detective, and he knows that sooner or later his partners are going to have to take him down if they find out what he's doing, but he can't stop. So, I hope people like it. The reaction so far has been very good.
What does the title mean?
That it will be secret until the last issue, yeah.
Okay.
But
so this is a limited series?
It's a limited series. It's a 0 issue and then 6 issues, but if people like it and there's enough interest, we will revisit it with further stories.
Now, of course, working with Avatar Press has been pulling in a lot of big names in the industry.
Yes.
I know we've spoken with Mike Wolfer and Warren Ellis,
Yep.
and Juan Jose Rip, who does some awesome artwork.
He did this cover.
He did the
I
cover?
love his stuff.
Who's doing the art chores on Absolution?
Roberto Villacava is our artist. He's a newcomer to the U.S. market. He's excellent. He starts out good, and he's been getting better as we go along. As a matter of fact, Ed Brubaker, who's a friend of mine and a really nice guy, he has some very nice things to say about Absolution. And in particular, he praised the artwork. He said, I've never heard of this guy, but the artwork is really excellent. So, and he just gets better, as like with many creative collaborations, the more you get to know somebody, the more you gel, the better the work gets on both your parts. And so it starts out good and gets excellent as you go.
Who do you think, what type of audience do you have in mind when you write Absolution? Are you thinking about the fanboy that's been reading comics for a long time, or would you think that someone who's never read a superhero comic before can read a book like this?
Well, all of the above. I mean, I hope that people like me who've been reading comics all their lives will find an interesting new take on, I mean, there's really nothing new under the sun, but a somewhat fresh take on superheroics, while at the same time someone who enjoys TV shows like The Shield or Dexter or something like that will be able to appreciate it and not really get caught up in the fact that there are people who can lift cars above their heads, but really get into the drama of it. So ideally everyone, all of the above.
Okay, so I'm sure you've been pushing this book a lot, so I'm gonna give you a question
All right.
that you've never heard.
All right.
Okay?
Do it.
And here's the kicker. I want you to give me the answer to a question that no one has ever asked. And you don't even have to give me the question.
Just the answer?
Just give me the answer.
Oh, my goodness. Just the answer. Westboro House of Pizza.
All right. There we
There you
go.
go.
There we go. I don't even want to know the question there. We could put any, although we all know it's where Christos met Ruth and where she gave him the idea for Absolution.
Yeah.
That might not be true, but
It's
we're just...
not. It's where I had my first ever job as a kid.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere completely
No.
different from that.
No.
Okay.
It was a very prosaic question. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's quite
I
all
could have
right.
given you a provocative answer like 14 inches, and then you would have had to figure out what that was referring to, because we all know what it's not referring to.
You've never caught a fish that big.
That's
have you?
right. Exactly. No, I haven't. No. I'm a vegetarian. I'm an animal lover. I don't fish.
Oh, awesome. Really?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you have any pets of your own?
2 cats. Ruth and I have
cats?
2 cats, yeah. Francis, who's a Bengal, and Josie, who's Siamese. They're
Sweet.
9 and 11 years old.
And how long
Wonderful.
have you had them?
We've had 9 and 11 years.
Where'd you get them?
Josie was a rescue. Francis we got from a breeder before we realized that it's, you really should get all your pets from rescues.
Awesome.
Yeah,
But they're happy cats.
they're very happy cats, yeah.
Awesome. And your cats don't fight crime, do they? Don't
No, they fight each other.
All right. 14 inches. What was the name of the pizza place again?
Westboro House of Pizza.
And his cats fight each other, not crime. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, just I hope people like Absolution.
This is a zero issue. It's coming out when?
The Zero issue is already in stores. The number 1 issue comes out in early August.
Early August.
And, the Zero issue is bargain priced at $1.99. So give that a try. It's a cheap way to decide whether or not you want to continue with it. And I hope you do.
And where can folks learn more about, not only about Avatar, but Christos Gage?
Well, you can go to avatarpress.com to learn more about Avatar. And my website is christosgage.com. I've been really lazy about updating it. So it's like 4 months out of date. But you can email me through the site, and, that's how you can learn more.
Okay. Stalk Christos Gage on
Yes.
his website.
Please do.
All right. And on that note, this has been Elliott Serrano and Christos Gage for the Chicago Red Eye and Geek to Me. Thanks for joining us.